Hello, Mandela, and welcome to your final wider curriculum lesson of the week. This morning in our live session, we spoke about our new topic of prehistory and the Stone, Bronze and Iron Ages. Thank you for sharing the information with us. In today's lesson, our learning objective is, can I understand how caves are formed? In today's lesson, you will learn to name the 3 ways in which caves are formed and explain how caves are formed. Questions. I want you to pause the video and have a little think about these for me, and then we will find out the answers. My first question is, what are caves? My second question is, how are they formed? Caves are natural features, openings within the earth that usually reach beyond the reach of the light. The second type of caves are formed as liquid lava flows in volcanoes. They are found in many types of rocks, but most commonly in limestone and gypsum. These types of caves were formed by water under the Earth's surface. The third type is a sea cave, formed along rocky seashores. The study of caves is called speleology, and those who explore them are called speleologists. A cave is a tunnel or room way underground, made by nature, not people. Maybe from the outside, it looks like this, or this. Look closely at the pictures of the caves and see what you can see. What is it you go in? What will you see? So as you go into the cave, maybe you will see this. So you will see rocks that have been formed over time. But if you go deeper into the cave, maybe you will see this. So you might see some gigantic rocks, or maybe you will see this. See more rocks that have formed over time and some light coming in. What is further down in the cave? What will you see there? You could see a pointy stone hanging from the ceiling, and this is called a stalactite. Stalactite, stalactite, stalactite. What else do you see? We might see a big stone growing up from the floor, and this is called a stalagmite. Stalagmite, stalagmite, stalagmite. Sometimes it might even be white. Sometimes the stalagmites and stalactites come together and make columns. You see the column that it's been made by them coming together in this picture. Sometimes the stone flows out like melting wax. That's called flowstone. So if your grown-ups have got candles at home, think about what the candles look like as they melt. And this is what the flowstone looks like. You may even find a big underground room with lots of stalactites and stalagmites, columns, and flowstone. And these look really beautiful and are quite stunning to look at. There are even pools in caves. People even swim in cave pools. Some underground pools are big, they're like lakes. Scuba divers like to also dive in cave pools. Inside, you might also find bats. Bats come out at the time of dusk and flock in groups, so bats come out at night time. Bats fly like birds, however they're rodents, so like mice with wings. Inside a cave, you may also see pictures left on a wall by people from long ago. You can see cave paintings in the Laxou cave in France. If you look very carefully at this picture, you can see paintings on the cave walls. And if you remember our lesson from prehistory, this helps us to learn what life was like in the past. How are caves formed? So now we're going to talk through the steps to find out how caves are formed. The first thing that happens is water can flow underground as well as on top in the form of underground rivers. Number two, when water runs over soft rock such as limestone, it slowly washes and eats it away. Number three, the acid in the water dissolves the limestone, making a hole which gets bigger. Number four, if the water finds a new path or the water table lowers, it leaves a cave. Number five, caves can also be created when hot lava melts rocks, forming holes, or when seawater washes away the bottom of sea cliffs. Your task today. This is what a cave looks like from the inside and the stages of how it's formed. So this shows the steps that we have just spoken about to show how caves are formed. So look at those pictures and we can see that the acid in the ground here is dissolving the limestone. And this is continuing over here as the water table is lowered and the limestone is dissolved from the rocks and the caves. And then we start to have the growth of stalactites and stalagmites. So your tasks today, activity 1, draw a diagram of a cave and write down one sentence to explain how they are formed. Activity 2, use the information from the video and facts from this lesson, write how caves are formed. Activity 3, using the diagram on the previous page, write down the process of how caves are formed. Draw pictures to represent each stage. So for activity 1, you need to draw a diagram of a cave and write down how they are formed. For activity 2, you need to use information that is in the video and some of the facts in the lesson to explain how caves are formed. For activity 3, you need to use the diagram on the previous page and write down the process of how caves are formed. You need to draw a picture to show me each step. I'm looking forward to seeing your work on Tapestry.